right, greetings and welcome back once again. This is Emunah Y'srael with a continuation from earlier this week, speaking about Jessie Williams' speech. If you missed it before, that one was 9 key points that I thought was worth repeating, and I did that. Give thanks to everybody who watched it and share it. But this is a follow-up because it's always good to hear the conversation. We're looking at today white supremacy, black people's reaction to white supremacy, and the responsibility. So we're actually looking at his speech in a working action. It wasn't just words. If we open up our eyes and look around, we'll be able to see it. But I want to start off with his words. Today, I was able to see that he did a post interview of that speech. So here he is at a very important part that I think is for this conversation. So hold right there and let's take a listen and we'll be right back.
I do. What can these people do that are wondering how they can help and just really don't know where to go?
Yeah, I think that one of the things that's hard for me about that is that for me to really be in the work and really believe in it is because I spent so much time reading and understanding our history and real American history to understand how it connects to what they're selling us on television, you know what I'm saying? Like to really read, understand, you know, we always know, you need to know history for everything. If you're talking about Kobe, you got to know about Jordan.
Right.
You got to know about Oscar Robertson. Right. You know, so any of these, but for some reason around black people, we think we're going to float around without knowing anything about ourselves. Right. So like getting your foundation.
We got Google.
Well, use Google.
But we use it late.
Yeah, we use it late and we use it to follow like Jeff's blog about like we were kings or some Hotep shit that's not really like fully in detail.
Jeff's blog.
I
don't even know if that's real.
But you know, I think the answer is kind of like plug in and get in where you fit in. If your interest might be women's rights, or your interest might be police brutality, or your interest might be how do I organize in my school because they're militarizing it and having cops in there with guns. How do I organize around that? Look that up and find us online. There's a Twitter handle for every issue.
You're absolutely right.
So really you're going to go down that YouTube wormhole. We've all been there.
Right.
Do that around Googling around some of the issues that you actually care about rather than me kind of picking one for them.
Wow. Did you hear that? Because I heard it. I was like, what? So for everybody, you're like, yeah, go ahead, Jessie Williams, you let them know. Like I said in the other video, we have to take it beyond applause. We have to take it into the realm of actually doing the work. And he said something that just blew me because, again, I've been on this campaign for even before this, but the beginning of the year more collectively about the Left Project and the reading of our history and all. I wouldn't say all because a lot of people are responsive, but I get a lot of I don't want to read that. Why we got to read that? Why can't we get past that? And he's saying he spent a lot of time. This is why I said before, if your ears are seasoned, you could tell, okay, this dude knows some stuff. And he spent a lot of time learning about the American history in order for him to be passionate about whatever area he's putting his concentration in as it relates to civil rights, as it relates to activism. He also said something very interesting, that black people don't like to, for some reason, apply themselves. But we know the reason. It was a systematic takedown of the knowledge of self. Knowing or seeking knowledge of self warranted punishment. It warranted chastisement. It warranted stripes. It warranted selling away of. So this is something that is in, I've been saying it, and many other people have been saying it. It's in the epigenetics. It has to go for us beyond just a conversation, that we're actually going to do the work to undo what has been done. So this is Jessie Williams. I wanted to start it off with this after speech conversation because that's going to go right into what he was saying during the speech and right after that. I mean, you know, like when you have a child, I have children. So right after, like literally right after you told them don't do that, they come out doing it. And then I have something else to talk about the system of racism, white supremacy, as it relates to this conversation that I saw on one news channel. So if you just go ahead and sit tight.
All of us in here getting money, that alone isn't going to stop this. All right? Now, dedicating our lives to getting money just to give it right back for someone's brand on our body, when we spent centuries praying with brands on our bodies, and now we pray to get paid for brands on our bodies.
So we heard that right. And everybody was like, yeah, making memes and brands on our bodies and pictures and everything. And I feel that right on. That's what's up. Like, that was Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, going into Thursday. No, today is Wednesday, right? 72 hours. This comes up. Take a look. Okay, so this is basically right after everybody's making all the hoopla. Yes, we feel you, but again, we got a lot of work to do on ourselves. That's all I say for right now. Leslie Jones says no one will dress her for the Ghostbusters premiere. Now, when I saw this morning, I remembered that she was the sister from that played the angry black woman stereotype in the Oscar spoof. It was her, Whoopi Goldberg, she was the help, and then Tracy Morgan was the effeminate black man. I did a video on that. If you haven't seen it, feel free to check that out. And so, again, we see now, this is her crying out. This is her crying out to the designers. This is her crying out to the society of people that she wants to be accepted by, to say no one is dressing her. I said, huh? So I wanted to read the article, and then I'll show you the tweet really quickly. But the article says, again, like I said, this is a little bit longer of a review because it's a compilation of things. The article says here, it says, and this was on Yahoo News, when you've got a premiere and you want to look good, who you going to call? Again, a lot of incorrect spelling, Warner, W-A-N-A, I just pay attention to that kind of stuff. Y-A. Well, nobody if you're Leslie Jones and she's not thrilled about it. The Saturday Night Live star and comedian, who with Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, and Kate McKinnon is starring in the upcoming Ghostbusters reboot, announced on Twitter that she has been having trouble finding a dress for the premiere. And like a true Ghostbuster would, she first gets mad and then gets even. You see that even though they're not coming out saying the angry, quote, black woman, they're putting it in there. There's so many things with this. But again, Jessie Williams just spoke to this conversation. It's so funny how there are no designers wanting to help me with a premiere dress for the movie, Jones wrote on Twitter. That will change and I will remember everything. Again, that's what she wrote in her tweet. And then it goes on to speak about other people who may have been having trouble finding people to dress them. But again, why are you specifically looking for a certain thing? There are so many designers. There's so many, quote, black designers or ethnic designers out there. Who particularly is she looking to dress her? There's so many things to say. But once again, we're looking for brands on our bodies from the oppressor when our foreparents spent years and generations with their brands on their bodies. How timely is this? But we're going to go ahead and continue on because the conversation around the speech is not done. We're going to take a look at the European now and how they feel about what just happened. So please stay with us. Hold on, slow down, Emunah, slow down. I actually put these tweets here because I wanted you to see it and look at the language that we're using. This is a sister who's using language in the helpless position. Like, I need you to help me. It's so funny how there are no designers, I'm quite sure there are designers, to help me with the premiere dress for the movie. That will change and I will remember everything. If you look at the psychology of this tweet, and then it goes on to say, what a difference a tweet makes. So I named the designers. Should I name the designers that didn't look out? But y'all put y'all blink on blast. You will not get my love later. So you see this threatening, you see this emotional manipulation on social media by this sister. And like I said, I'm quite sure that there are a plethora of ethnic or quote black designers out there. But who is she looking to dress her? Whose brands are she looking to support? But anywho, I'm going to go forward now with the last portion of this conversation. All right, so this last clip right here, that whole Leslie thing conversation, again, it's proving what Jessie Williams is saying to be true. And for me, this is something that we have to be aware of. What desire is. You know, in slavery, you used to feel good, our foreparents, when Mrs. will give you her cast off, her hand-me-downs. She would no longer wear this dress, and because you weren't accustomed to anything new or nice, because, you know, more than often you would only have like one suit of clothes per season. And so you would get, like I say, hand-me-downs, and you would have an expectation that when Mrs. is going to get a new dress, she's going to give you yours. hers, and you're gonna look good now. You're gonna look nice, and you get to go to the hold down. I'm not making this stuff up, and I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm looking at this to say, wait a minute. You're in a space that why do you have to wait, or there may be custom there for somebody to dress you? And so at what point do we take this personal responsibility back? And like I said, I'm quite sure there are many designers who would be able to clothe you, but do you accept their clothing? Is it hotter? Is the Europeans' clothing nicer? Is it finer? Is it more refined than someone of your own persuasion? These are questions that we have to ask ourselves. And this is what Jessie Williams, in my estimation, was raising during this speech. But this one last one, I saved this one for last. I saved this one for last because this one last one had me going, All I have to say is let's stop being reactive and be more proactive. And once we deconstruct what's really going on, we can see through clearly and be able to get right to the meat of the matter. But I'm going to let this clip play, and then we'll talk about it in a minute. 1 second. Again, thank you for your patience. This was 3 different thoughts in one. I didn't want to do like 50 million videos, so stay tuned.
I felt exactly it was a great album. So Dana, should Justin Timberlake have said, hey, buzz off? I was trying to be nice.
I think that Justin Timberlake had the right answer at the end, which is he said, I never should have tweeted about it in the first place, which is probably usually the best answer for everyone. Twitter seems to just get people in situations that they end up having to apologize. But I'm confused about this. So globalism is bad, except for when it's good.
Totally.
Can you help me figure that out? Just let me know when globalism is okay.
This is so ridiculous. I'm beginning to see why you went off Twitter, right?
Yeah,
I mean, because no good deed goes unpunished, right? I mean, look at this. He was just trying to be nice and say, okay, great speech, which, by the way, I did not know that actor, you know, he's on Grey's Anatomy, and I didn't know he was so angry. He seemed so upset.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like, yeah, there's things that go wrong, but also
so
focus
you're
on the
watching
positive.
BET Awards last night. What did you?
I was watching the Olympic trials, and the U.S. Championships, I guess that's what it was. The people were qualifying for the Olympics. But I saw this morning. Justin Timberlake, you're right, is extremely talented. But he's an idiot to agree with that commentary by Jessie Williams.
Right.
Jessie Williams, and where did that come from?
That's what I'm saying.
The reason why rappers are living in, driving Mercedes-Benzes and living in neighborhoods is because they're selling their music, not just to the black community, but to the white community. Every suburban white kid thinks he's the next rap star. He thinks he's the next Jay-Z, rapping all over the place. So
much to my consternation.
You should be happy that
So
the
if
white
it's Jay-Z or it's
people
Eminem
are
or
buying
Vanilla
the
Ice.
the African-American or hip-hop music because of their finances.
I feel like we're very close to solving this, but unfortunately I'm just being told we're out of time.
Yeah.
So yeah, you saw the clip. The clip. You know what? It's so much that I just put in this one. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to make a separate video for my thoughts on that clip because I wanted to, the video might get really long and I don't want that to happen. And so definitely I want to thank you for tuning in. Check me out on the other video because I'm going to put together my thoughts on this because I want to look at the system of racism, white supremacy, some of the tools that are often used, as I said before, in the abuser scenario. And so when you look at abuse, domestic abuse, oppressor, oppress, it's a universal design. When you look at it, you'll begin to understand what we just saw. And when you take yourself out of the equation just a little bit, you won't be able to, they're not no longer, you're not Pinocchio and they're not Geppetto. You understand? They can no longer pull your strings because you actually see what is being done. So as I'm thinking about it now, that's a whole nother conversation, a little segue. And so look out for that video. It's coming soon. Once again, my name is Emunah Y'srael. Thank you for tuning in, and everybody have a blessed day. Come on now. Let's be the change we want to see in the world. 1.